A long time ago, I heard the statement, God is more concerned about developing our character than our comfort. The Lord will use adversity in our life to teach us something about ourselves and about Him. We see that played out in the life of David. Welcome to the Word for 2021. Today we're in 1 Samuel chapter 19. In chapter 17, David defeated Goliath. In chapter 18, Saul became jealous, resentful, and fearful of David. He was looking for a way to get rid of David. Then Saul learned that his daughter Michal was in love with David. And so he thought to himself, I will give her to him so that she might become a snare to him. So Michal was given to David in marriage. Saul was trying any way he could behind the scenes to get rid of David. But now in chapter 19, Saul stops trying to kill David covertly, and now he hires assassins to go directly to David's house to kill him. In verse 11 we read that assassins surrounded David's house in order to kill him in the morning. But Michal, because she loved him, she allowed David to escape out of a window. And then she covered for David, and she lied and she tried to trick her father to protect David. During this event in David's life, he writes Psalm 59. David used this experience in his life to draw him closer to God. Now, David, he allowed his pain, he allowed adversity, David allowed his uncertainty and his troubles to fuel his prayer life. During times of trouble, Satan will always tempt us, wanting us to think and to say, God, if you really loved me, you wouldn't allow bad things to happen. Satan wants us to blame God or to accuse God. But when adversity came to David, David went to prayer. As we read the book of Psalms, there are 10 Psalms that are written during this time where David is hunted. He is hiding, and he is running from Saul. There is Psalm 18, Psalm 34, Psalm 52, Psalm 54, Psalm 57, 59, 66, Psalm 124, Psalm 138, and Psalm 142. These were all written during the dark time in David's life when he was on the run from Saul. Saul was on the throne for 12 years, but for 10 of those years, he was running after David. To get an idea of where David was at, in Psalm 59, which is what is actually taking place in his heart during this event, we read these words. He begins with verses 1 through 4, Lord, save me, help me, deliver me, because I am innocent. David's prayer is very specific to the Lord. It's not ambiguous. It is not disconnected from what's happening and how he's feeling. It's very raw. It's very honest. It's very open and genuine. What we see in David's life is that David prayed very specifically. He didn't pray, oh Lord, just bless everybody. Oh Lord, just bless me. But he was very specific in his prayer. And because of that, God answered his prayers in very specific ways. And then in Psalm 59, verses 9 through 12, David, he has a heart just like God's. And so he asks God to be merciful. He says, God, go before me, but do not kill them. Make them rather wander about, scatter them. And so he first starts his prayer by saying, save me. And then, because he's full of mercy, he has God's heart. He says, don't kill them, Lord, but scatter them. And then finally, he sings to the Lord. He worships the Lord. In verse 16, he says, I will sing of your strength in the morning, and I will sing of your love. For you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. So here, David, in his time of adversity, he says, Lord, save me, scatter my enemies, but let me sing of your goodness and your love. When we go through times of adversity, when adversity comes my way or when it comes yours, we need to follow David's example. And we need to first, when trouble comes, turn to God. Then pray honestly. And then thirdly, worship instead of worry. Thank you for joining the Word for 2021.